There we go. Now we're recording. So we've been laying out here for a few weeks. We had all kinds of stuff going on, didn't we?
Yeah. It's almost like we went on a summer vacation.
I guess that's what we'll call it. We'll call it welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to be back. We got lots of things to talk about, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody's been busy.
Yeah.
Stuff going on.
Well, we really sound exciting. If they haven't tuned out by now, if they hang around, they'll at least get to hear the opening. It's going to be an exciting show, right?
It is.
Always is.
Always is.
Three, 2, 1, 0.
You're listening to the Knives Templars.
I got a piece off of the wagon that Sam Houston used to take JFK to the moon.
Pinto sauce. I like that. Pinto sauce.
Pinto sauce.
You're tuned in to the Knives Templars Podcast, featuring Jason Fry.
Yeah, I've been just been doing what we do.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Eric T.R.E. Rivers.
Holy crap, I built something.
Mark Vasallo.
There would be a lot of places I would launch my shelf to.
Chip Carlisle.
We've had a raccoon come through the screen door down in the family room.
Kyle Daly, Cage Daily Knives, the Knives Templars.
Josh Varan.
I was a mean kid.
And now broadcasting across planet Earth, it's the Knives Templars, coming to you live from Courthouse Studios located in Hartselle, Alabama. This is the Knives Templars Podcast. We are on air, on demand, and heard worldwide in all of your favorite apps and at theknivestemplars.com.
I have one announcement to make.
Oh, okay.
So moving forward, you have to be on the show at least one time a year to take advantage of being able to turn in an expense report at theknivestemplars.com. So far, you guys can still turn in expense reports, but from this day forward, anybody that's not on the show can no longer submit expense reports.
Oh.
So you're still not paying them, though, right? We can just turn them in?
Yeah, I'm still not paying them.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Welcome to Knives Templars, brought to you by Pop's Knife Supplies, New Jersey Steel Baron, TR Maker, Brodbeck Ironworks, Phoenix Abrasives. Put in Templars 10 at checkout, you get 10% off. Jason Fry, CustomKnives.com. EvenHeat Kilns, great kilns. CageDailyKnives.com. Clark Iron Forge and Knife Makers Guild. Why make knives alone? There you go. Everybody. We got everybody.
Excellent.
So I haven't gotten any more complaints about all of the long ads, during the show since I started doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But he may have been the only guy that was upset by it, but I hope he's still listening. He came back and he was like,
what's funny like that is that no matter when I was in the Air Force, it's always funny because the people who complain are a very small minority, but they're the loudest, right? Most of the people who are happy do not say anything. Like they don't say that, hey, I'm happy or I like the way it is. They just don't say anything. And then probably fewer people that are like really happy, they'll say stuff's going good. So the voices that you hear most are the folks who are unhappy. And then if you change something, you will still hear that same percentage of folks that are not happy because a different set of the three people who are unhappy will be the loudest. So it's always hard. No matter where I've been in whatever role, to try to understand, hey, is that really a problem or is there just a couple complainers?
Yeah. Well, summer's always kind of slow. We had 600 listeners. I was looking at the metrics. We had 600 downloads and then it was something about 9,000 hours in the last 90 days were listened. But the 600 downloads is the last 30 days. So, which it dropped off quite a bit than what it has been. I think it's Forging Fire's coming back with some new episodes. Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it called Cast in Steel or something like that now? Or
oh, is it really?
Oh, so I
I
didn't
don't
know
think
if it was new episodes or like episodes that they hadn't aired yet that they already did a while ago. Is this actually
That's
new?
what I was thinking, but
I think it's I think it's
sure.
unaired episodes that they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I saw
still,
Cast in Steel on Doug Marcada or Marcida,
Marcida.
and then Ben Abbott's one also.
Okay.
So I think those are new episodes,
Okay.
but I think it's a similar similar concept, but different
Different company.
different company probably.
right.
So
Hey,
Cast in Steel. I have to look that up.
Just one thing, Mark. Did you welcome everybody to the greatest knife making podcast out there, equal to Knife Perspective?
No, I did not. Welcome everybody
There
to
you
the
go.
greatest knife podcast next to the Knife Perspective podcast in the universe.
Yeah, I don't know if they just walked into the party and we just started talking and we didn't even welcome them at the door. So I wanted to make sure
There
we
you
did that.
Hey, before we get all rabbit trailed on Cast in Steel,
Yeah.
what I have here that you can see is a cast steel railroad spike in 1080. Okay, so a guy named Charles Clayton out of where he's from. Remember where
Atlas
Charles
Knife
was
and
from?
Tool.
Yeah, Atlas
Iowa.
Knife and Tool. Iowa. Yeah.
Out of Iowa.
As bladesmiths have made fun of railroad spike knives, like as soon as we learned a little bit about metallurgy. Honestly.
Right.
But Charles figured out a company that would cast railroad spikes for him in 1080. You can get a railroad spike that's shaped exactly like a railroad spike, that looks just like a railroad spike, but is actually real knife steel. So cast in steel. There you go.
Charles is a board member of the Midwest Knife Makers Guild also.
He trucked it all the way down to a hammer in Texas one time with his stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice
I'll be seeing him in about a month at the Midwest Knife Makers Guild Hammer-In up in Mankato, Minnesota. That is August 14th and 15th. For you that would want to go. Derek Melton and Brett Onick are our two headliners for the show for the Hammer-In this year. Both of them are going to be talking extensively about induction forging and how it goes in with knife making. Derek does a lot of different tool or like grilling tools and different crosses and all sorts of other blacksmithing stuff. And Brett has been doing a lot of using the induction forge to make crucible steel, like woots and stuff like that. Excited to see some of those presentations. I'll be doing a presentation on hand sanding or using mold polishing stones to help finish your knife. And I end up doing 2 or 3 impromptu little side quests from people that usually ask about some of the tools and stuff that I bring up to the Hammer-In also.
That's cool. We are down in Texas, are doing one on the 28th and 29th of August in China Spring, which is outside of Waco. This is with the Texas Knife Makers Guild. I think our goal this time is to try to go through the process. So be a little more hands-on and have some folks actually make some knives instead of just doing a bunch of seminars. We'll have a bunch of seminars too, but there's going to be a kind of, like you say, a track that makes the knives over those 2 days. I am doing a little bit of a talk about heat treating. That's important. And I'm kind of a nerd and I speak that language. So I'm not worthy to tie Larry Thomas's shoelaces.
You're not just kind of a nerd. You are all in, like 3-year-old running into the water at the beach.
I'm still not worthy to tie Larry's shoes, but he's taught us all a lot. I can regurgitate it pretty good.
Yeah. Does he make knives?
I don't know. His dad was a hardcore knife maker for a long time.
Was he?
Yeah, he made some knives when he worked with his dad for a little bit.
Gotcha. I didn't know. I've never heard if he did or not.
made a lot of Damascus with his dad there for a couple years, he said. But now he's halfway across the country from his dad. His dad's over in Nevada, and he's up in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Gotcha. Hey, breaking news. John Dennehy has just sent me a photo of a blonde lady with a Bigfoot. Don't know why, but John, if you're listening to the show, thank you. Blonde lady with a Bigfoot. Oh, he says, I think you're being two-timed, bro. Does that mean I have a blonde girl? My wife is a blonde.
I think he's meaning Bigfoot's cheating on you.
Think that's right.
You're not his only friend.
Bigfoot's got many friends. John's just confused. he needs to stick to making buoys and wearing cowboy hats.
There you go.
Yeah, I love John Dennehy though. He's my buddy. He's my buddy. Hopefully, he listens to this and he'll hear that I told the whole world that John Dennehy is my buddy. What else? We have what is it with ABS is coming up? They've got something really cool coming up. It is the Mid-America Blade Symposium, August 27th to 30th. And I believe that's going to be up in Ohio at the Miami Fairgrounds in Troy, Ohio. And if you're wanting to test for journeyman and I believe also mastersmith, if you go to that event, that's the other event, you're able to test for those two positions within the American Bladesmith Society, as long as you meet the requirements to test at that time. So
I think our sponsor, Brodbeck Ironworks, is going to be showing stuff there also. That's almost in his backyard.
Oh, cool.
Excellent. I saw that, hey, man, I love Clark Taplin. He makes the best dang press in the world, but I saw at Blade Show that Orion's got a press out there now, too.
Power hammer.
Nope, he had a press. I was at Blade this year. He brought it.
At Brodbeck?
Yeah, Brodbeck. The guy, the young fellow that invented his small power hammer, pneumatic hammer, has developed a press for him, and there was a press at Blade Show.
Oh, I remember seeing they had the bigger power hammer, and then he had a small prototype power hammer that was like under 100 pounds.
I'm telling you with 100% assurance. Don't make me feel like I've got Alzheimer's. Don't you do it, Kyle.
I'm going to gaslight you.
Don't you
give you
do
the Jedi mind trick.
There you go.
But now I'm going to look it up and make sure I'm not crazy. But I know I saw it because I talked to that young fellow that created it. Now, I saw Mark's hand. Oh, I thought that was his wife waving in. You're breaking up a little bit on your image, Mark, and I saw this hand coming in, kind of like that right there. And I thought that your wife was whacking you, but it was your own hand going for a peanut or something. Are those peanuts you're eating?
They are, what do you call them? Goldfish, cheesefish.
Goldfish. Well, you know what Josh Ferran says about munching on. He'll turn us off. He won't listen if he hears you munching.
Yeah,
that's right. No, that's sucking on cough drops.
Yeah,
chewing gum.
Oh, chewing gum. Yeah,
chewing gum.
And they're the little snack that smiles back until you bite their heads off.
Yeah, y'all see, I got a little haircut this week, but you can tell by looking at the top that I had a hard hat on today a little bit, but I also took an hour nap before this so that I could be all excited, because when you're out in that 100-degree weather all day, sometimes like I am now, man, I tell you what, it takes it out of you. But it's funny, I can sit in a forge and go all day. But I don't know, something just different about it when I get home ready to go to sleep. Maybe it's because my wife wants me to mow the yard or something, and I'm just rather sleep. What do you got there? What Kyle is showing us something. He's showing us a power hammer.
Did it look like that?
Is that a press or a power hammer?
That's a power hammer.
Like a baby
it wasn't that. It was blue, and it was a press. Because I remember talking to Clark Taplin about it.
Okay.
I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, you do it.
That's at BrodbeckIronworks.com. You know, they're one of our sponsors, and that's not an advertisement for the guy that listens that doesn't want us to advertise during the show. Mark, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks besides making short tangs?
It's been doing some just stuff around the house, and then been working on a couple knives. Finished up, close to finishing up two. Got some sheaths to make and some. Got to make. I normally try to make a custom bead for the lanyard. For each of my knives, except for the kitchen knives. So got to make some of those and yeah. So, but yeah, been, got a couple done. It's amazing that knives go a lot quicker so I had a bunch of knives that I did, I cut the templates and I ground them and then they just stopped there. And then I, went off and did a bunch of other stuff. And now I'm getting back to those and it's so much nicer because wow, I can finish up a knife and, just get the scales done and, like 2 days and I have another knife done and it's just, it's real quick once you get to that process. So
yeah, for sure.
But I'm also, the other thing I did this week that I'm really liking so far, and I'm doing the test run on these I'm doing 4 full-size hunters that I'm making out of some 8670, 3/16 8670. And so I'm using that app. Who's the guy who makes that app, Kyle?
Joe D's, the Shop Traveler app.
Yeah, Joe D's. And I don't know, is it out officially or is that still like a test version?
He has it out through the Expo Go thing, but he is working on getting it through the app stores and stuff. So
yeah,
there's a somewhat lengthy process before they put an app out on the app store for it to be downloaded. And then the other thing is once you put it out on the app store, it's locked. So when you push an update to it, they charge you a fee to redo all that. So he's still got things he's tweaking on feedback and stuff from some of us. So he doesn't want to get hit with those big fees for doing a bunch of those tweaks and stuff. So right now it's free, but it'll eventually be something you're going to have to pay either by month or a yearly fee, and it's not too terribly much.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really nice. You start entering, the first one I'm doing, I'm just entering steps as I go or tasks as I go. And you just plug in a task, you can put some details about it. And then when you start that task, you just hit the start button and it'll start a counter. And, so if for some reason I get called away and, Shannon needs me to do something, I could just hit stop and then go do that thing and come back and start the counter again. And then you can get a really good assessment of, how long it takes. Because somebody asked me like, hey, how long does it take you to make a knife? I was like, I don't even know, because I stop and I do other stuff. I'm not in the shop all day. And then sometimes I'll stop and I'll do, I get distracted and I'll do another task in the shop and then I'll come back to what I'm doing. So it's really nice that you can have that timer on that actual test step and start accounting for how much you do, as well as material costs and really try to sum all that up and say, okay, how much does it really take me in time, labor, materials to get this thing done? And then it really helps you better assess what you should be charging for your products.
Yeah, Joe's put in a lot of good time on that. I'm an engineer, or Joe's also an engineer. So him and I, this is like right up our alley. So I've been giving him quite a bit of feedback and stuff as I've been using it. But with the start and stop things, you can also hit the time on there and edit it too. If you get sidetracked and forget to hit the stop button, you can go back and say, oh, I stopped at 4:00 or whatever. And it'll,
I didn't realize that. That's a good feature.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or if you, like me, a couple of times where I got started working and I totally forgot to hit the start button to begin with, I was able to put in the rough time that I worked on whatever process.
Yeah, nice.
So,
and you can start and stop it as many times as you want to.
I don't think Ryan Brodbeck carries his phone.
Oh, you calling him?
Well, I sent him a message on Messenger, and I waited 3 minutes, didn't hear anything, so I sent one on his phone. Hey, Ryan, it's Chip. we're recording a podcast, and Kyle Daly and I are bickering over whether you had a hydraulic press at blade or not. I say you did. Did you? ? So
I don't remember seeing it, but I also didn't spend a ton of time over there. I was pretty busy jumping around all over the place. So
Yep.
that's right. You were trying to corral old Mark in, weren't you? He was running around there selling everything.
Mark was doing a great job at the table, and I got a story about the power of networking that if you want me to share it now, or I can save it for
I will let
later.
you do that as soon as I give you one recommendation. Next year, you just need to get one of those judges' chairs from Wimbledon that sits on the side of the net and just set up and watch Mark go. Just give him directions. They're like a crew chief, like a crew chief.
Yeah, I think we had a pretty good system. Mark was selling the knife making tools down there like crazy, and I was down on the end talking with people about the knives quite a bit. And then every so often I'd go down when there were a lot of people looking at all sorts of stuff. But Mark and I were both constantly amazed at how many people kept trying to take the price tags that I made for all my products. They just thought they were business cards. They didn't even look what was on it. They just grabbed it and started putting it in their bag.
It's funny you say that. My wife said, you should have like little cards beside your knives that, talk about them and say everything and their price and everything on them, and set them beside your cards. I said, seen that, done that, and no, because people just steal your price tags. And she was like, what? And I told her your story.
Yeah. So next year I'm going to bring some of the double-sided tape. I got to find something because the masking tape didn't seem to stick extremely well to
we have an incoming message. Ryan Brodbeck, he's the three little dots. Okay, you're bringing double-sided tape. This is the beauty of, hey, we just had two different power hammers.
Kyle's right.
So I responded, damn, I lost. Old man didn't even know he was looking at a power hammer. He thought he was looking at a hydraulic press and scared Clark Taplin that he had to deal with Brodbeck.
Yeah. You're safe for now, Clark.
Well.
But the power of networking, man. So everybody knows that I bring my cooler down to the pit, and I had frosty beverages and waters and all sorts of stuff in there. And Ben Sechrist, actually, from Brodbeck, he had a person that he was talking to down in the pit, and we were talking and stuff. And the guy goes, where can we get something to drink? I'm thirsty. I'm like, well, I got some beer and water in here. And I gave him a bottle of water, and we started talking, and told him some about my knife making tools. Ben told him some about my knife making tools. And while I was in Italy, he put in a $200 order of different knife making tools, and I sent it to him. And then yesterday he put in another $200
nice
order of different knife making tools, since he loved the first one so much. So a customer that I more than likely wouldn't have had if it wasn't for give him a bottle of water and connecting down in the pit. So that's one of the things that's easily overlooked with going to some of these shows. Lots of people say they're not worth it. They don't make enough money at it. There's so many times, and this is just somebody that I actually knew that I talked to, that messaged me about remembering me from the pit. So there's so many people that you don't even really know where they found your website or whatever. Also, so getting to meet people and do all that stuff, pays lots of dividends down the road. And then those people tell other people, and hopefully it all snowballs.
And that's wonderful. That is wonderful. Mm-hmm. Look at you. But you're a great networker, and that's what, and I was talking about your celebrity the other day with you last night, and you got all humble about it. But when you say celebrity, we're not necessarily talking about, I guess maybe celebrity is not the word, maybe recognized innovator. How's that?
Yeah.
That's like notoriety kind of has a negative connotation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even though it means the same thing.
Sometimes.
Notorious Kyle Daly.
Yeah. When I met Fry, I was a little starstruck, and, till I realized he's really a nerd.
I'm really just a regular guy that makes stuff in my garage.
Yeah, we've already talked about that. No, I mean, honestly, when I first started making knives, and people like Jason would come on, and he was in Blade Magazine, and he's on Forged in Fire, and he's got this book, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then you realize that while he's done all those great things, he's just a good guy, and everybody's got a story. But certainly, Kyle, I think in our hobby and industry and job, because people hit it at different ways, you certainly are an innovator. So what's Fry trying to do? Take away from your celebrity by making a lot of noise?
Yeah, that's it. It's like, how much can I distract from Kyle? That's
okay, Fry, we'll talk about you some more.
I had one other thing, some cross pollinating with our sponsors of the show. At Blade Show, I was made some more connections with Pop's Knife Supply, and they're now carrying the 15-piece handle alignment pins on their website, along with the Smooth Pass push sticks. So you can find some Cage Daily Knives stuff on popsknifesupply.com and at their physical store. So
very cool.
So you were pollinating the guys over at Pop's?
Yeah.
What I heard.
That's what I heard.
Hey, I want to give a plug to. So I'm going to give a Kyle Daly tool plug here. I'm using the it's you call it the sanding sled, right? No, the sanding sled. Is that what you call it? The sanding sled with the clamp.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you that is. So it's I would say similar to in some ways similar to what you would get for like a TR Maker vise with the platform that you put in there that you sand against. Right. But I think the gold piece of the whole sanding sled is that clamp that he designed on there, that you designed on there, because this, it's great. It's like a, I don't know how you describe it, but the benefit is that you could slide this clamp, forward and back, and you can put the plunger left to right. So you can put your clamping position anywhere you want on that tang or that knife in any position. And it just gives you, it just made it so much nicer. I had a 2x4 with one of those Harbor Freight little plunge clamps, over center plunge clamps. And I used that for a long time. I put it in the vise and it worked great. But, one of the things I always struggled with is, just trying to, get that tang aligned on there. And sometimes you'd have to have the knife cocked off to the right side and just to align it all and that was just so smooth. It just works great. It's really well designed. So, it's a nice piece of equipment.
So I immediately went to the sanding sled, and I see it on the page here, $10 to $325. I assume that $10 is for some extra parts or an HDPE sheet or something. So is the stainless one, is that $325?
Yeah, the stainless one is. Okay. That one is shockingly not selling quite as much. That's I've always wanted one out of stainless, so it was not that much more to have 10 of them cut than it was to have one of them cut.
Sure.
So I had 10 of them cut. So, but yeah, there's a DIY kit that's
I see that 180.
got all it's got all the stuff machined, so the different threads and stuff, but it has all the raw laser cut sides. So
does it come with instructions?
Yeah, it has a little page to how to assemble it.
And it even puts a little Allen wrench in the kit so that you can tighten the screws if you do not have one.
I see that Allen wrench, and it looks nicer than the ones you get in Chinese furniture.
That's right.
Yeah. So and then there's I think it's 240 is the one where I deburr and tumble and make it all super nice and pretty. So all you have to do is screw the two plates together. But that $10 is for the HDPE sheet for the top. And it's made so that if you have like a chef's knife that has more belly that comes to a point, you can shape that plastic piece so it follows the edge, so you don't have to worry about the sharp edge hanging over. And then you can change out those pieces if you have more like a Santoku that has more of a straight edge. You can have it like that.
Yeah, well, people can find that at cagedailyKnives.com in the shop section. But honestly, this hand sanding sled looks like it's been a culmination of hundreds of hours of sanding blades over at your house.
Yep. Yeah, that and the SL Stoneholder is two of the most used tools that I use on every knife. And some news as of yesterday, I kicked Richard Beck off on machining some out of aluminum. So the SL Stoneholder will have a aluminum design. One of the comments I frequently get with the SL Stoneholder is the 3D printed plastic parts. Lots of people feel like those are not going to hold up, and they do degrade over time. It's not a perfect thing, but we're going to have some out of metal, and I'm excited to try those, and hopefully that'll be a really good seller and alleviate that concern of the customer to be able to utilize those.
Well, it says this hand sanding sled has been a culmination of hundreds of hours of sanding knives and blades. That's just what you said right there.
Yeah.
That was just one MagnaCut chef, right?
That's right. Yeah. Hundreds of hours on that one.
So let me ask you this. I've got a new knife line coming out called, you ready for this? Shegman free range knives. I used to work in poultry, free range chickens, free range cows, free range knives. Trademark. There you go. Copyright. July 9th, 7:04 p.m., 2026. Anyway, poor man's copyright. Trademark. Anyway, so I'm going to start doing some integrals and I want to do some nice integrals with really nice bolsters and such in them. I think that's probably what I'm going to do before I go down this ABS trail. I may make my performance knife and then, do some other stuff, but make a performance knife, I think you got 2 years after you make that, don't you, Fry?
It might even be 3.
Okay. Make a performance knife and then do a little something, take a break. And I want to make some of these integrals with the really nice bolsters and stuff built into them. I need a sanding sled with a little slot or a little hole you can drop that bolster down into and still get your knife flat. Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, you'd have to just drill it in there.
Aluminum probably best then, and you take a hole drill and drill it about where you'd want it to set and go from there, I guess, right? Rather than hack out a 2x4 with a clamp from Harbor Freight on.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out a way to do the sanding sled, to figure out a way to because one of the things we struggle with a lot is refinishing a blade that gets scratched and stuff during the show that already has a handle on it. So there's a couple extra holes in there that you can move the plate down, and I've been trying a bunch of different ways to try to use the clamp to be able to hold on the handle, so then you're able to refinish the blade. I haven't come up with anything very elegant yet, so still noodling on that a lot.
Jason, you look like you were about to speak when I was talking about that little topic there, little side topic.
No, I was just thinking about Kyle and all his gizmos, and another project that I sort of have bouncing around in my head, kind of like my kids are bouncing around in the other room right now. Let's see how that plays out. No, so I was, some of y'all know I have a Canon that I got at a garage sale, and it's friggin' awesome.
This is so funny because I was like, he's going to mention his Canon.
I am. So I was talking to him the other day. He's like, you know what you should do, which is always the bad intro. Anytime somebody says, you know what you should do, you should be wary. He said, you should manufacture some of those. You should just make a bunch of them and sell them, like those rich guys that have giant ranches and like want to drink whiskey and do something cool in front of their friends that their friends don't ever have. Those guys would buy Canons. So immediately my brain went pew, 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 in like 97 different directions. And that's what I was laughing about was Kyle and his buddies. It's like I'm kind of my brain is going that way about Canon ignition systems and trunnions and what kind of carts. And
I think the cart would almost be more work than the.
I do play one on TV. No, my dad was an engineer. I was headed towards engineering before I switched careers. So, I kind of think that way. But that's what my face was saying was, I should reach out to Kyle about who can manufacture my little doohickeys for my other rabbit trail. And I may not get there. I mean, I was also thinking about that same thing when y'all were talking about Joe's app. It's like one of the real questions in business is not, can I do this?
That's right.
I can do it. It's, can I do it profitably, or can I do it in a way that doesn't suck? Right.
So let me ask you
where I am on the Canon thing. I'm kind of poking around, looking at, I could make a bunch of Canons, but can I make them in a way where it's not ridiculous? Can I make them in a way where it's repeatable and faster and sellable, but also innovative and cool? Go buy a cast Canon. There's companies that do that very well for the last 40 years. Go buy one. How would mine be different? And I think part of the answer is going to be Kyle Daly, not really himself, but that approach of, I can maximize the trigger system, or I can maximize the cart system, or Canons are old technology.
You're going to have a hard time getting insurance on that, baby.
That is fair. That is one of the real questions. So, but one of the ways that they get around that is that they sell decorative Canons, and all you have to do is drill the flash hole. Right? It's like an 80% Canon. They sell yard ornaments that just happen to be convertible by the end user. But one of the companies does. Anyway, so I was thinking about, what does that look like? What if you apply the Palmetto State Armory AR-15 model, business model, to Canons?
Yeah. Did you ever think about asking VMAX about possibly 3D printing some Canons for you?
Well, I have thought about 3D printed parts or jigs. So if you're going to sell something that's a brick, but it's not designed to be a brick eventually, like some kind of 3D printed drilling jig might be a useful accessory.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just where my brain goes when it's.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, Richard Beck, Beck Tools is one of the guys that I've partnered with quite a bit. He's got 2 CNC machines now, and a really nice guy. He makes a really nice grinder too. One of those followed me home from Blade Show. Richard made me a deal I couldn't refuse. So now I've got my Brodbeck and Richard BA shredder right next to each other, and I'm still trying to determine if I still want to have my third grinder out. Right now I put the chassis up in the top of my garage, so I need to get a new another VFD and motor if I want to have the third grinder going. But
well, speaking of grinders, have you guys thought about have you seen this new little Vevor 1x30 VFD for $200?
Dan loves it. That's an integral part of his mobile sharpening system for going to different restaurants, and
you can go forward and reverse with the thing. Some of them you have to program to go in reverse, but it's had nothing but great reviews. And the 1x30 guy spent another $150, and you can have a 1x30 grinder of variable speed. Go to Phoenix Abrasives, get some decent belts, and then up from there, it's a $400 window if you want to go the Grizzly machine.
Yeah, Dan gets the 1x30s from Phoenix, and does a lot of sharpening for a lot of the restaurants around him, and that's a good source of consistent income every week for him, he said. So, and being able to take it mobile, a lot of sharpening companies, they have like a whole bin full of knives. You take the bin, give them another bin full of knives, and swap them out. But this one, he shows up usually way before lunch starts, sometime in the morning, and 30-45 minutes, depending on how many knives they have, or maybe an hour, he's got all of them sharpened and back in action, and they never leave the premises.
Oh, that's cool.
Uses a little Jackery power brick on the back of his pickup truck, folds the tailgate down, slides everything back. So it does it right on the back of his truck.
Jason's looking one up. He's getting ready to place an order.
I am. I'm thinking about
it. He needs a little small wheel machine.
I need more side trails in my life.
Yeah, I've thought about reaching out to a couple of the restaurants and stuff. There's a pretty big sharpening service around here that is kind of like the mafia. So breaking into some of that stuff is couple of my friends that do knife sharpening in Chicago, they've had their knives thrown out in the back alley and from that sharpening service saying, you don't have this customer anymore. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That reminds me of like an episode of the Sopranos when the guy was taking over some guy's lawn mowing route, and Paulie went out and just beat the crap out of everybody on the street and took their lawnmowers. That'd be a scary moment.
That's one way to do it.
Yep, got him off the street there. So with all this inventing, though, you guys know you got to be careful. I told y'all about my buddy who invented the hot oil pot for kayaks.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, my friend Scott, fisherman, duck hunter, inventor. Back in the late 90s, he invented this hot oil pot that fit into the storage compartment of a kayak, like a duck hunting kayak. People would go out on the flat ponds or out on the Great Lakes and, up in the tributaries of Lake St. Clair and this, that, and the other in Michigan in the fall. And they were called flatboats rather than a kayak, but essentially a kayak. And they would lay out, and when the ducks or geese would come in, pow, 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 pow. Well, he started selling the crap out of these things, and a couple of them.
Let's back up a second. What does an oil pot do? What do you?
You know what a smudge pot is?
Okay, so it's just like a heater.
It's a heater, yeah.
Okay.
And what happened was these things got way too hot and just started burning through these boats, catching them on fire essentially, or just burning through, and these guys were sinking out there. And thank goodness nobody drowned, but one guy ended up in a coma in a hospital.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So anyway, they went to court, and I was supporting Scott because I was sponsoring him with my fishing lures at the time. Scott and I are really still good friends. We don't spend time like we used to. We see each other a couple times a year. We were in court in Detroit, and he was found guilty. And I guess it was just going to be a big insurance payment or whatever because he wasn't going to jail. But the judge said to him, he says, before he passed sentence, he said, Mr. Dobson, he says, I need to let you know one thing before I pass judgment. He said, well, he was waiting there with his lawyer. And he said, Mr. Dobson, you can't have your kayak and heat it too.
Yeah. But
that makes me doubt your whole story, Chip. I know that guy. He took me out on the lake, but he didn't offer to keep me warm.
Well, you didn't go during that time of year, I guess.
True.
I was looking for a drum roll or something on the. I don't have a drum roll anymore. Wait. Do we?
I gave you a ba-dump. or like they do on the WFI podcast. Brian Cohn uses his trombone to go bwah, 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 bwah.
Yeah.
Every single one of those is played by Brian Cohn live on the show.
There's only two truths about that whole story. Scott Dobson was my friend, and number two, and fishing buddy. Number two was I heard that joke on 760 WJR in Detroit back in the late 90s, and I've told that joke for almost 30 years.
There you go.
Yeah, it's my only joke. It's my only joke, but it's funny. It's funny. That's some funny stuff, baby. That's some funny stuff. So I got into stainless, guys. Got into some stainless, and you guys were helpful. I don't know why I got into fillet knife thin stainless to start with. As far as I made a cake knife, and I'm blessed. My daughter-in-law to be asked me if I would make a cake knife and a server for them, and I've got the server cut out. I've got to get it sanded and put the handles on it. I didn't heat treat it. Don't see a need to, unless you guys say you need to heat treat it. But anyway, the that'll be done here shortly. But I will tell you, it's nice to have broken through that little mental barrier about the guys that do stainless. And, as all the guys go, it's really not that big of a deal. You just have to have an oven and go from there. But I will tell you a couple things I learned from it. Number one, yes, it is definitely harder and it'll eat some belts. But I hand sanded like I always hand sand. And I did not feel that it took me any longer to hand sand because I always go through progressions, like you should, so you get the other scratches out. And when I sanded it out to 220, 400, 600, 800, wasn't a big deal. I got there. It was a 10.5-inch blade, so it took a while to, get it all sanded out, but it went pretty quick. But I'm not really excited about stainless. I don't know what it is, why I'm not excited about it, because you don't have to worry about, some of the aspects you do with high carbon steel. And I'll keep some and I'll probably do some, but it just didn't turn me on. I guess if I made more kitchen knives or knives that be around water and such, I'd probably feel differently, but it's not my jam. I like honey. Huh.
Mark likes it when his
I pissed all the guys off here that like stainless, but go ahead.
Mark likes it when all of his knives aren't rusty out in the shop.
Right. Yeah, I'll tell you, if for any other reason, working with stainless, just having those couple, because, this was my first batch of stainless knives that I did, and I only had like four knives out there. But I mean, it was just so amazing that I can keep this thing in my shop. And, if I have a high carbon steel knife, I have to have it slathered in, WD-40 or some kind of corrosion, compound, and, or it's just going to blast rust. Flash rust there, but yeah,
got a jar of WD-40. I just drop everything down in there if it's going to set for any minute. Like
that's a good idea. I did find, I don't know if I shared this tip, is that if you add, when you're grinding high carbon steel, if you add baking soda to your water, and that's what you use in your dip, it doesn't flash rust, which is, like, I was like, wow, this is magic. Yeah. And so yeah, that really helps. But yeah,
you can also use urine, so you can use your own urine and pee in the bucket, and it won't flash rust either.
Oh, all right.
Hard pass.
I'll let you test that one.
Yeah.
There's no known truth in that. I just wanted to see if anybody would go with it, but yeah, hard pass too quick. You know that Bear Grylls, he drank his own pee out of a snake skin. I mean, it could be a little bit true.
Yeah. Oh, here. So I'll share another first that I did just recently over these last two knives. So I started using Gussel bolts, and I love them now. I'm not going to make all knives with them, but it is really nice that you can have your scales off and finish your scales and polish them and do everything you need to do with them, and take them off and put them back on. For that final, just making sure everything's perfect. And, so, it was really nice to use those. And, for me, the reason I use them is because on these last two models of knives, I made my, it's full tang knife, but the tang is a little bit proud of the scale. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, we look like the Brady Bunch on here.
Okay.
How did you pass the goldfish down to Kyle? How do we get some?
He took all of mine. Mine's empty. So
is that what it was? Look, well, you're above him. Did you spill them and they fell down into his rectangle?
I did.
I got you. Okay. Anyway, it just seemed kind of funny. All of a sudden, he's eating, and I'm like, where'd you get those? Done. There it is. He's got his goldfish.
But yeah, they're really nice, and it was nice that I can take them off. But yeah, my tang is, I'm leaving it a little bit proud, which I really like. It kind of gives you a little tactile feel and indexing, but it doesn't give you a hot spot. So I can't really sand my scales on the knife with those, or you sand down your the tang piece. But so they work great. I just I had never done them before, so I wasn't sure exactly how to go. So you had to figure out how deep to go and measure the thickness of your scales. So there's a little bit of math, but not all too much.
You see that guitar over my shoulder there, right there?
I see that.
Yeah,
it's not for sale. That's a 12-string, and I've still got my J45s over here in the other corner, but I sold my American Telecaster this week for $1,000. I paid $1,300 for it, so that wasn't too bad. It was 6 years old, and I'm no longer a rock star. Just so you know,
too bad.
Just
it was a good run.
Guy. It was a good run. So, but here's that story. I told my wife, I said, I sold my Telecaster. I said, I was going to get one of those little Vevor 1x30s or a Grizzly 2x42. And she said, but we just replaced the air conditioner. We should put that in savings. I was like, son of a gun. I had $100 bills in my hand. She never paid any attention to that guitar. And I said, sold my guitar, got $1,000. It's now sitting in our savings account, and I have to sell a knife if I want to get those things, she said.
Wow.
Isn't that terrible?
That is terrible.
And I said, but I bought it with my money back in 2019. She said, whose money? I thought we had a joint banking account. I said, but it's money you allocated to me to buy this for myself. And she's like, no.
Yeah, that is one of the first things I tell people when they ask me about going full time. I go, the knife making money that you use now, what do you use that for? And usually they're like, buy more tools, buy fun stuff. I'm like, yeah. Wait till you're paying your mortgage with all that money,
yeah,
and you're not buying fun stuff anymore.
Yeah, and trying to replenish your stuff, the belts and stuff. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And you're
using was it
KP10?
Templars 10
or KP10?
Checkout helps you save a little bit more on those belts.
I got an order of belts, and I will tell you, there's a few belt suppliers out there, and I won't mention because some of them are sponsors, but I was able to get 3 extra belts and paid for my shipping by going through Phoenix Abrasives with my Templars 10 checkout. So
there you go.
3 additional ceramic belts and shipping was the difference between that and if I'd gone through anybody else at the lowest. I thought, well, that's excellent.
How fast did those belts get to your door also?
I ordered those on Sunday night. So they didn't get it till Monday, and they'll be here tomorrow, Friday. So if I order from one of the other suppliers that are local, I'll typically have them in 2 to 3 days tops, and this has taken me 4 to 5 days. But I got extra belts in this, that, and the other. So Monday, they were shipped out Monday afternoon, and it'll be here Friday tomorrow. So 3.25 days.
For me, they always ship with this company called Speedy Delivery.
Yeah.
And I guess they're kind of like out of Minnesota or something. But they must have multiple trucks a day go straight to Chicago, because almost everything I get next day from
that's good for you.
From up there. So there have been times where I've talked to Greg and ordered it, and it's been to my door in less than 24 hours.
Wow.
Well, so if you're in the Midwest.
Yeah. Well, like with Pops, if I order handle material, steel, or anything like that, I'll have that in a day and a half. It just comes over.
That's a lot closer to you.
Up. Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes I get belts from them too, but I try to, give all of our sponsors a little bit of our business since they're so good to us. Mm-hmm. So, where they specialize in certain things.
Yeah. It was a little bit of a bummer this year at Blade Show not being next to Greg and Sean.
I know.
We have been for the last 4 years.
It was kind of like divorced parents when I had to walk an extra hour over to go talk to them. Yeah. I had a little sponsorship deal fall through this week, or it just went dead. I thought I had a different from the one we were talking about, just so you know. I thought I had a sharpener with a wheel sponsorship coming for my knife brand, but it just went silent. So either they're thinking about it or they just went, heck with him.
With a water wheel?
Just saying. Yeah. But it went quiet. So I don't have your celebrity.
I've reached out to a couple of people. I haven't gotten many sweet deals. So
yeah. Have you seen that Win and the ones that they sell at it's basically the same machine as like a Tormek in design, the ones they sell at Home Depot, but they typically only come with like a 220 wheel.
I've seen a Tormek like sharpener on Amazon.
Yeah.
But our Home Depot doesn't have stuff like that.
I see.
Or I'm looking in the way wrong department. Every time I go into a home improvement store, Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, I feel like Ron Swanson when he goes in and somebody goes, "Can I help you?" He goes, "I know more than you."
Yeah.
So I have to be in some dire straits before I start asking people where something is. So
now, Vevor sells an 8-inch knife sharpener. You know, I used to Vevor, but dang, some of their stuff's not that bad, you know? They're really. Vevor 8-inch knife sharpener for 97.
Like a wet stone, a wet.
Yeah, here it is for you guys to see.
Oh yeah,
like the Tormek.
Yeah.
$97. And I'm not sure. 8-inch water-cooled grinding machine comes with an angle guide and a straight jig, helping you adjust sharpening angles precisely to support both horizontal and vertical grinds. Efficient, stable performance, grinding, polishing. This wet sharpener includes an 8-inch 220 grit wet grinding wheel for sharpening and an 8-inch leather honing wheel. So it's the same one that they're selling at Home Depot. So it'd be nice if you could get like a 220 and then like a 400 or a 600 wheel.
Yeah, I think the key on those things is that one, what's the arbor size like? So is it compatible with any other aftermarket wheels, or do you have to just use what they have? And then the quality of the stone that they have, if you have to use theirs, what is the quality? Just like sharpening stones, there's different qualities of those. There might be some that give you a real crappy edge with the same grit as a good stone. So, it's, I don't know. I think some of those are, you just need to have somebody have those and see how they work first. Like the 1x30, I've they really pass a lot of those things out to all the YouTube folks, and there's been a lot of reviews on those now. So it seems like folks like those, but I haven't seen a lot of reviews on the wet wheel.
Well, Tormek makes a T4, and the T4. Let's see what it says here, guys. It's I think it's an 8-inch wheel. Is it an 8-inch wheel? It is. A cast zinc top gives Tormek T4 high level of precision. Vital functions include motor, main shaft, and integrated sleeve for universal support are mounted directly to the zinc casting. This advanced design ensures stability and unbeatable precision for the universal support, which is the foundation of the Tormek jig. I'm looking for the stones. Home and hobby use.
So, listeners, if you have a Vevor sharpener or a Wind sharpener, reach out to Chip and give him some info.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, buddy. I'm looking to see what the grindstone. It doesn't say what grit. It's a 200 by. It's an 8-inch wheel. It has a leather honing wheel, just like the other one. Width, height. I don't see anything on the grit here, but anyway, I'll figure it out. Jason, what you got going on?
And so I actually finally, I feel like it's been a long time, but I finished knife shows for a minute because I did 3 back to back this spring as soon as I got my shop done. So I spent a little bit of time in the last couple of weeks just cleaning up and starting to piddle again instead of just hustling. My latest thing was that I took my forge and kind of rehabbed it, did a little bit of relining with some Satanite because I had some cracks in my castable. Retuned my burner and just, started fiddling again. It was fun, honestly, because I ran the forge for the first time since last April. I didn't actually forge anything. I was just burning propane for fun.
Yeah.
But also because it's like 98,000 degrees with 1,000,000% humidity right now. But that's what I did the last time I was in the shop. The other thing I did over the last few weeks was that I hustled out a couple of knives for the cover of the book. Did I tell you all this story already?
No. You were saying that you were looking to make one, but
so I did.
You weren't sure what to do.
Yeah, so I'm working on a book called Knife Making for Everyone. It'll be published by the Blade Magazine folks. If I can get my work done, it'll be out in September-ish. But we needed some knives for the cover, and all I had was these epic multi-$1,000 historical pieces, which is not the kind of stuff you put on a book about how to make a knife, right? So
for everyone.
For everyone. Yeah. So I ended up making a stick tang forged hunter with a mortised sheep horn blade handle, and then I did a standard stock removal stainless hunter with burlap micarta, just clean little how to make a knife kind of knives.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mailed them to Wisconsin. I had somebody who was like, "I want to buy that one." I was like, "I can't sell it to you yet." So because everything, of course, goes on social media beforehand. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Those the last few. Did make a run out to New Mexico to go pick my family up after a little bit of a vacation. So, I didn't go to the interesting part, like with mountains or anything. I went to Lovington Hobbs area, which is about like Lubbock, except with a few mesquite bushes, not trees, bushes. It's flat. But we shot the cannon while we were there. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Saw some fireworks and things. That's all I've been up to.
And you went to? Did you mention the fishing derby?
Oh, I didn't mention the fishing derby. So yeah, Lovington, New Mexico has a July 4th fishing derby in the one pond at the city, as the city lake there. And there was like 250 kids fishing, and we had my two and 4 or 5 more of my brother-in-law's nephews or cousins or somebody. So we just perch fished and caught a lot of bluegill. We caught 1 catfish, but apparently the key, I will give away the secret recipe to win the fishing derby is to carp fish, right? Because you can catch 5,280 perch, but if one guy catches a 10-pound carp, you're going to lose every time.
That's right.
Right. So the winners consistently carp fish. Now, I will say that out of 250 fisher people, they had about 4 people that actually caught a carp. Want to win a fishing derby in a New Mexico mud hole, carp fishing's the way to go. Now you know the rest of the story.
There you go.
We have a Tormek update, by the way.
Okay.
So it is very similar to the Vevor machine. Comes with a 220 wheel, but they have this thing I'm showing you guys right here. You can barely see it, but it's called a stone grater.
Mm-hmm.
And it's $40 or so. The SP650 stone grater is one of the most unique features of the Tormek sharpening system. The stone grater is used to change the grit of the grindstone from a coarser 220 to a fine 1000 grit wheel. The unique system allows you to use the same quality Tormek grindstone for dual purposes without removing the stone. The grating of the grindstone is made by pressing, and you see there's a picture here of the guy's hands pushing down on this thing across the stone by pressing the fine side of the stone grater onto the grindstone, which makes it work like a fine grit 1000. When pressing the coarser side of the grindstone, the smooth surface is then returned to the normal 220 grit. This process does not place excessive wear on the grindstone and can be repeated a number of times. So it sounds like we need to buy a Vevor and a Tormek stone grater.
Yeah, I never understood that. Like, I always saw that thing with the stone grater, and like I can't visualize how it would work, that it wouldn't just be removing material from that stone and constantly make it smaller and smaller and just wearing away on it, because Maybe for home use, like if you're only going to sharpen knives, like, once every couple months, that's probably will last you a lifetime. But if you were gonna, sharpen, I guess if you were gonna do it professionally, you'd probably have two wheels, one in each grit. But
I've got my sanding stones. It's 4 stones, and it goes into a tray, and you soak them in water, and then use them. And while you're using it, you keep hand palming some water on there. And I actually love that. I've learned to do it, and it's not hard. And it's kind of cool when you do that. Now you can't do that with a new knife with 10, 15 thousandths on it. It'll take forever to sharpen it. But when you're doing almost zero edge, it doesn't take long at all. Mm-hmm. But I enjoy it. I would assume the same thing is going to be for a Tormek or anything. You got a lot of steel to take off. You're going to have to work with it. But with that, the stones that I have, it's got this one stone that comes with it for resurfacing the stones, and you just rub it back and forth over it. And it doesn't take a lot of material off. It just kind of evens it all back out again. So maybe something along those lines. But those stones are eventually going to wear because it's, you're taking material off when you do it. But so are you still using your Ameribraid sharpener, Mark?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
So I, for the most part, it just depends on what knives I'm sharpening. So if I am going to sharpen maybe one knife, like a really unique knife, so I'll use my, so I have a Sharpall fixed angle sharpener. And so I'll use that, but I don't know. I like the Ameribraid, sharpening attachment, works great for me. So, now I have my belt progression, and, I have, I'm much quicker at it. Like when I first started, I was real timid of, how to, approach it and how to slide it across and how the angle is going to go. But now, when I'm sharpening something on there after you've done, a bunch of them, it's really quick. And so I sharpen, so I do my first, from 15 thousandth or, whatever 10 thousandths, edge, whatever I have on the knife. I'll cut my first sharpening bevel at a 220 bevel. Right. And so,
I go 220 to 600 and then I strop it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do 220. And then I have I do 220, 400, and 800.
Okay.
So
yeah, and when I say I strop it, I will typically run it across.
And then
my
I strop
stone.
it. Yeah,
I'll run it across my stones too. I don't stop with the. I know some guys turn their belts backwards and this, that, and the other, but and go across them, or they'll get a leather 2x72. But I just take them to the stone after that. Run a few passes, and it seems to be sharp. But I've been looking at sharpening systems, and I don't know if I need one or not. Maybe I ought to just be happy with what I got. What do you do, Fry?
I just sharpen on my machine, still on my belt grinder.
Just put it on there and just freehand them across it.
Yep, every time. Every time. Now I was just looking at that Vevor y'all were talking about. I mean, it looks like a nice little machine. Like you could probably even set the work rest up at the angle you want and just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I freehand sharpen on my machine. I usually go 120 if I'm at full thickness, and then I go 220, 400, 600 strop. It's kind of my standard.
What do you do, Kyle Daly?
For my bushcraft stuff, I'll usually do 220, 400, 600, and then a leather strop. And then for my kitchen knives, I go to vitrified diamond water stones. I usually do 1,000 and 3,000 with some 1 micron polishing, diamond polishing emulsion. I did get right here. It's actually told Mr. Creeley that I'm going to be trying some of his diamond emulsion. He gave me some 1 micron and 3 micron.
Oh, cool.
Emulsions, and then he says this balsa wood actually is some of the best that he uses.
Is it a harder balsa?
No,
there's different grades of balsa. It's pretty soft.
That's pretty soft. I can leave a pretty good mark with my fingernail. But that's what he recommended for putting this stuff on here. And Gary puts a little thing on here so you can write what
nice.
what emulsion
grade,
you have on lot one. Even though his emulsions are color coded, I'm excited to give that a try. He says he uses a lot of diamond stuff in there, so told him I'd try to sharpen some of my kitchen knives this weekend.
Yeah, I think Big Hand Dave put me onto some emulsion like that too that he was recommended one time. I think mine was 4 micron, which is still
I got
exceptionally tiny.
Yeah, I got the same stuff.
Was that Gunny Juice back in?
No,
or was that somebody else?
It was somebody else. It was from some little sharpening company.
I used to use some Gunny Juice, but he doesn't appear to be in business anymore, so it's hard to buy from him.
He should have used Joe Deese's app, and then he could have been more efficient with his production.
Stayed in business. Poor guy.
So back when you were talking about that dresser great stone grater thing, I use these diamond wheel dressers a ton for my 36 and 60 grit belts. They work best on my 60 grit belts, but the brand that I bought and has worked really well is called PowerTech, POWERTEC. Diamond wheel dresser. They're for like pedestal grinders too. If you have like a groove or an angle on them, getting them back straight. But I can push it into a 36 grit belt, usually 2, 3, or sometimes 4 times, and it will bring it back to about 80%, 60 to 80% grinding, as it was new to break some of those original abrasive grits.
Nice.
I was shocked that this. So if you buy one of them, it's $7.99. They've got a 3-pack for $21.29 on Amazon. I didn't expect the first one to last more than a month or two, but I'm still using the first one. It's been 8 years. I bought a second one. Two years after I bought the first one, just because I was like, this thing's got to give up the ghost at some point, being so cheap. But I just keep it on the disc grinder, because sometimes I'll use that on the 80 grit discs to break some new grains. The $7.99, it's one of the best investments.
What's the company again? I was trying to look.
PowerTech is the brand. PWERTEC. I'll drop a link in our chat.
Cool.
What I've been using is I don't know. I guess you could use a lot of stuff. I've old Ferris RAS files, or like different stuff but they to try to redress some of those belts. But I found for the Trizec belts, a nice stiff wire brush works great on those Trizec ones.
Mm-hmm.
But those aren't ceramic, so.
Yeah, I was absolutely shocked that this thing has performed.
Wow, that thing,
spectacular. Huh? Yeah. It looks super chintzy.
So is it just like a diamond sharpening stone on the end of a stick? Kind of.
Yeah, it's the diamond particles, like with some sort of plating to hold them to the metal. But it helps to break those big 36 grit things, because like on most of your stainlesses, the tops kind of glaze, and then once it's not biting, all the stuff down below can't do what it needs to do because it can't get to it. So pushing that into the belt, and then that helps a lot.
I've got a little Harbor Freight one of those. I need to try that. I got a bunch of wore out belts, like usual.
It's one of the best $7.99s I've ever spent. So, but buy the 21-29 one and have a couple extra floating around, because inevitably it gets sometimes I can't find it on my workbench and it's sitting like right there. So I've got two of them that I go back and forth with. So, but
I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah, on the higher grit stuff, it doesn't seem to work extremely well. It breaks down enough that there's not grits big enough to make it worthwhile. But especially on those like incinerator belts, the VSM Actorox.
The big heavy ones.
The Cubitron 3s, it works really well.
Huh. I wish something could bring the 120 back to life. I mean, those things, right? I use those things, and I mean, they work great for what they do, but then like when they're done, they're done. It's done. Like,
yeah. The same with like the 220s. And then I bought a bunch of the 320 Phoenix Fire ceramic belts. Those are amazing for cleaning up the spines going around your blades. Cleaning up the file work and stuff like that, getting all those final scratches out when you're using the rough ones, the rough grits to hog the handle material off. I bought a fistful. I didn't go over to Phoenix as early as I should have. I went over like Saturday afternoon and I go, "Do you have any more of those 320 grit ones?" He's like, "I got like 20 of them left." I'm like, "I'll take all of them." So, yeah. The rumor is they're working on a 400 grit also. That'll be ceramic. So I'll be excited for that too. Seems to be taking a little bit longer though.
Guess that works good for all that crazy hard stainless stuff you like, huh?
Yeah.
Crazy
You need
hard.
to buy one of those. Did you hear about, like, I think we talked about it before. There was those diamond grit belts that True Grit was carrying for a while, and I think they were like $400 or something like that a belt. But like I'm so curious for somebody just to buy one of those and see, hey, is it really, does it last, and is it really abrade the stainless like they say it should.
Patrick Warman talked to Bob Terzola a lot about that last year at Blade Show, and Bob swears by him. But Bob does a little bit different grinding method. He uses jigs and like a hollow grind. So he's able to get those diamond belts with a misting system. You got to use a misting system with it to get a really, really good mirror polish in there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Patrick he paid between, I think he bought 3 grits and they were like between 130 and 180 for each belt.
Yeah. So maybe it was them, all of them for 400. I can't remember, but somebody was saying like 400. I was like, well, it's a chunk.
I need to ask Patrick if he did any more testing with that. He was busy installing some Vevor mini splits in his shop, so he's hopefully not going to be sweating so much.
Yeah, nice, cool.
I know we're all
Chip's researching.
To say, I know we're all one knife sale away from our next big thing, right? That's kind of how knife making works.
Well,
I'm one knife away from
celebrity.
From a mini split from my oven that disguises itself as a shop. So I got just enough in there to where I think one more good one, and I'll be able to chill out a little bit better.
Good for you. I like being a man. I just work out in the hot heat.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
It cost you your beard, though.
It did cost me my beard. But, guys, this is a look.
There you go.
No comments? No comments? I mean,
you need to get yourself some television contracts.
I know this mustache has really come in since Blade Show when I think just cut it off, and I tell you what, I've gone full Wilford Brimley, man. I've gone Brimley, and I started to grow my beard back, but I'm falling in love with my caterpillar. So, hey.
So let's continue down that path. Like, so what is everybody's next purchase going to be? Like, what's your next shop purchase? So it's a split,
a mustache comb.
Well, so
really quick on Chip's thing. So does that mean you're going to have to change from bearded man to mustached man?
What is that? What is that in Norwegian?
Sheg or Bart. Bart is mustache. Sheg or Bart. Bartman.
Bartman.
Sheg or Bart. But you'll see that my brand has drastically moved away from Shegman is the name, and that's unique. I mean, not like Fry or Daily or VMAX. It's really unique. And Shegman, and people can't spell it, so you have to go to knife-maker.com. Screwed up there. But anyway, Shegman is just, hairy man. And so I've got a big mustache, Flot Sheg is great beard. Sheg is beard. Shegman is hairy man. A lot of overseas words have different meanings, how you say them. But Bart is Norwegian for mustache. So there you go. But if you look at my brand, the Bigfoot has a beard. Y'all never noticed that, did you? He's got a beard sticking out off of his chin.
I have noticed that, actually. Years. I didn't know if that was Chip specific or if all Bigfoots were that way.
Nope, that was intentional. Gave him a beard, and so it all still works. And even though I've been developing this kind of I got my own thing going. Y'all got your thing. You got history. Dailies got the buddies and the high tech, and VMAX is Custom Blades USA retired Air Force on his site, and I got Cowboys and Bigfoot.
Don't forget lasers on Mark's.
Yeah, I was going to say with big freaking laser beams.
And I'm not criticizing any of you. I think a lot of it is as long as none of us go kilt. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry, Dan. As long as none of us go kilt.
Well, it's Eric. You got to say sorry, Eric. Eric kilts it.
I'm not going to.
Does he?
Eric
he does.
I think he only kilts it when he's well, I don't know when Eric kilts it, to be honest with you, but I'm not a big knife making kilt guy. I think guys that run around in kilts at knife shows are just guys that run around in kilts. That's all. Some of them could probably kick my butt. But I'm not worried about that. That's not what it's about. It's just guys in kilts.
You don't have to worry about Dan kicking your butt for a while. He's off to the Amazon for a little bit.
Good. Well, good.
I saw a picture of him on the airplane, and Joe Flowers was sitting right behind him, and he goes, "I can't wait to be kicked the whole flight to the Amazon."
Well, let's talk about this. Guys that wear kilts are, I would say, is as of people that wear Indian headdresses when they're out west and they buy one at a show. I mean, it's cool. You want it. You want to wear it. It's what you want to. It's like putting on a costume. A kilt is a costume.
I don't know. Some of them like it for the heat.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that Dan says he wears his so that his jewels are swinging in the cool breeze when he's out in his shop. So I'm not knocking. I mean, but I sent y'all a picture the other day. You could just as easily forge naked. Why put on a dress?
I guess that's one way to look at it.
That's one way to look at it.
Got a little bit more protection for the family jewels from some hot flying sparks.
Hey, if you're gonna, I would rather die with integrity like Ron Swanson than get caught laying on the floor with a dress on.
There you go.
Dan,
I tried to
Dan,
tell my wife.
send your comments to Chip Carlisle.
No. Any guys out there wearing? If you guys wear kilts, that's your thing. Go ahead and wear them. I don't care. No more than I judge the guy who wears the little furry suit at Blade Show and the little tail sticking out from under his whatever. Who knows how it's attached? Be what you want. There were a lot of interesting people dressed at Blade Show this year. I always like looking at the people that come in, and I'm like, I wonder if they dress like that all the time. And that's probably yeah, they probably do. So,
yeah.
What's the most interesting thing you saw at Blade Show with somebody dressed like something?
There's always a Davy Crockett guy.
Yeah, the Mountain Man coonskin cap guy was there again.
Yeah.
Then there's the guy that comes in that looks a little like he plays a lot of video games, and he's got 72 knives strapped to his body. Different. They've got, they've all. It's not one guy. You see several of them every year, but they'll come in and they've got like an 18-inch knife with a purse strap hanging off of their hip, and it's there. And then they got 4 other knives around their waist and their belt, and they've got one on their arm. Mm-hmm. And they've got some other contraption on their hand that if you fold it just right, it points that come out of it. I mean, there's always those guys that are small walking arsenals. They look like the guy that hands out the swords when the guys are running out of the castle to war, and they're handing out, they're there to equip everybody. So,
or they look like one of those watch salesmen on the corner in New York City where they open their coat and they have all the
watches. Yeah.
And you can always tell who the girls were that were on Naked and Afraid running around, and some of the guys that were on it, I guess.
I guess it's good probably that they're neither naked nor afraid while they're at Blade Show.
Thank goodness I'm not. Thank goodness I'm not. Now, who's the one guy? Is the ABS guy? He always wears the nice big Gus straw cowboy hat every year, but that's his personality. He and J.W. Randall, they are cowboys. I think Randall was a rodeo cowboy, wasn't
he? I don't know.
I think J.W. Any ABS.
I didn't see him. I didn't see him.
I think he was
he was across from me at Texas anyway.
Yeah, he judged one of my knives. I think he was a rodeo cowboy at one point in time because he had his arm repaired, and I think he had told me it was from riding horses and rodeo. So
back around to Mark's original one, he wanted to know what our next big purchase was, what we had going on, I think.
Yeah, what are you going to get next for the shop there, Kyle?
I'm not sure. I just got the laser. That was a big purchase. Still trying to make that make some money. I do have a person coming tomorrow that is going to have me engrave a bunch of little trinkets for him. I think he has like 50 trinkets, nice. So that should be a nice little money maker there. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the next big one is. I got a new 2x72 that tilts. That was part of the reason I really liked Richard's one too. My other one was just straight. Now I can have 2 of them go to the side, so I can have a coarse grit and a fine grit while I'm profiling some of the blade handles and stuff like that. I'd really love to get a CNC mill. But that's probably going to be many years away. And then I'm going to have to finagle some space in the garage for where I can put that, because I'm kind of out of space.
Yeah, well, like lasers, the CNC mills, like the home and portable CNC mills, like not the big massive ones. The prices are coming. It seems like they're starting to get driven down. So I wouldn't doubt in a couple of years that they just continue to come down, and something because I mean, if you're going to get a unit that's, I don't know, like a 3x3 foot unit, can do most everything that you would need to, unless you're going to do mass production on stuff, but like a smaller unit can do just about everything that
you could build buddies with it for sure.
You could.
Yeah, especially some of these small 3D printed or SL stone holders or whatever. But Instagram has my number too. They keep feeding me. The Langmuir has a fiber laser for like cutting out blanks and stuff like that. X Tool has that metal fab one that you can cut out blanks and stuff. That would be pretty cool to be able to cut out whatever I needed quickly and have all the holes and stuff done instead of one of my least favorite things is drilling holes in tanks, man. I hate that job.
Yeah. I mean, you go through a lot of, I mean, it's, I don't know how many drill bits you go through, but even on non-hardened steel, I guess you got to sharpen drill bits.
Yeah, I know how to sharpen drill bits, but for me, it's always if you get the speeds right, all the heat mainly goes into the chip. And then those chips coming off end up getting little burn marks and stuff all over my hands. So
yeah, I just got it's funny that you said that. I had a chip come off, and it went in my, like in my shoe, and it got caught in my sock. And so first it burnt my little, it got like hot and it burnt me. And then I thought I got it out, and I've been walking for the past 3 days. It must be in the tongue of my shoe somewhere, because every time I walk, all of a sudden it starts stabbing me. I'm like, where is this little chip in there? And so I don't know. Does it do it like once and then not for 15 minutes? Yeah, that's how it'll like poke me, and then I'm like, oh, and then I try to feel. I don't feel anything in there, and then I'll be like, all right, I think I got it, and then all of a sudden it's like, 20 minutes later, it's there again,
back again.
Yep. Using a carbide burr, some of those little metal slivers, I get some of those in my fingers and stuff, and that's like that too. You're digging around with a set of tweezers for a while, and then you gotta let it heal for a day or so before you can start digging again.
So Jason, what's like besides for an air conditioner, what else do you need?
I said I'm one big knife away from the air conditioner, but I also have a plan for if I don't sell a big knife, or if I just keep selling medium knives, right? So part of the reason I have long wanted to build my own hydraulic press is because I can buy it one piece at a time, right? So I can't just call Clark and be like, here's $4,000, but I can go to Northern Tool and buy a cylinder, and then in 2 more months go buy a pump and some hoses, and then in 2 more months go buy, So I have a giant I-beam out at my parents' place. It's actually like 13 feet long, so enormously long.
Wow.
I-beam. And it's a 12 by 26, I think, so maybe a little on the light side, but I have 13 feet of it, so I can weld it together maybe and make something. But anyway, so 2 weeks I'm going to go planning on kind of thinking about going up to get that, and probably start trying to weld. I mean, start trying to fabricate the thing.
Nice.
Buy it one piece at a time, like Johnny Cash's car. Just take little pieces out in my lunchbox. But yeah, so that's what I'll work on if I'm not able to just sell a big fat one and buy an air conditioner. So,
all right.
You know how it is.
Well, that's pretty good. Yeah.
You got to have a plan and a backup plan and a backup plan for your backup plan. That's all if I don't get distracted and start manufacturing cannons. So you just never know. Just never know.
You may be able to talk to Clark and work out some sort of tradesy. You might be in the market for one of those high dollar knives too.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now, Mark. Is that finally, like I said, in the building stage, the rebuilding stage, the project stage, instead of the oh my gosh, I got to hustle out another knife stage. So another thing I'm going to do is I have a water heater that I need to put in my shop. But my shop doesn't have water yet, so I got to dig a little ditch and put in a sink and a water heater and a French drain. And that's what I'm looking forward to, honestly, is the medium-sized projects. I've done all the stuff that I can do like in an hour, But
that's right.
All these half a day or a full weekend kind of projects, or the press, I'm sure it'll take me 2 months worth or 3 of work days piddling around.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm at. I mean, it's so hot, but hard to want to go work outside. But I don't have a show on the books until Blade, Texas. So, feeling the freedom.
That's right. But and I think sometimes it's
March,
more.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So I'll try to put some good stuff out for Christmas, but between then, I'm just gonna do what I want.
That's right. And it's kind of fun doing that. That you don't have to do the grind. And you could just freelance a little bit of.
I've missed it. How about you, Chip? What are you working on these days? What's your next big shop?
Well, I've got that Ameribraid cooling little stainless steel cooling tank that it comes with your tower. You know what I'm talking about, Mark?
No, the cooling what?
The little water holder for your mirror blade grinder, so you
yeah.
dip your knives in. It comes with it. Did you ever install yours or use it? I didn't. I was using my bucket.
I used it for I tried to use it because it came with it, and then what I actually have is I have an old little craft little wagon thing that Shannon didn't use anymore, and I have my water bucket on top of that, and I just kind of roll it out right next to there and dip it in. So
yeah, I just bend down the 5-gallon bucket and dip. I decided that though I had that pulled out the other day, it was still in the wrapper. I never used it, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice." Somebody call 911. Call 911.
My kids are killing themselves or somebody.
No, you don't have to. As long as you hear them, you don't have to call 911. It's when you stop hearing them.
Couldn't be his last breath.
Good
that sounded like a last scream. I think he was. That was it. So I was going to fill it with that hardening chocolate, and I'm getting a chocolate vanilla soft serve ice cream machine that allows you to do chocolate vanilla twist. And I'm going to use that to do the dips. That's what I'm doing. I can't think. I'm blessed. I have everything. What else do I need?
Good.
And what I mean by that, I kind of buy things as I need it. What was the last thing I got? I got something from you, Sel, that I was really tickled with. Isn't that bad when you get something you can't remember? And I paid quite a bit for it.
It was wasn't it the clamp, the thing that you clamp your
hidden tang?
your hidden tang, on the
handle set. Yeah,
handle set.
So yeah, I got that, and the thing is I just kind of get what I need. I don't have. If I really could get something, I would get a power hammer. I like my press, but I love how a power hammer moves quickly and slowly. A press moves slowly and presses the shit out of it. Excuse my language. Poo out of it. Beep. Sorry, Kyle. But you can ruin something very quickly if you don't put any stop blocks or something in there, I guess. But I would love to have a power hammer. And since I know that Brodbeck now has 2 sizes, bring it on around. Bring it on around. I wouldn't mind if I could find a way to fit a little power, even like that air-driven the small power hammer they've got. I'm not going to be beating giant things around, but then I don't want to suffer from hammer envy. So if I get something, I've got to figure out how to grow outside my wall. So I don't have enough room to really want anything else right now.
Yeah, that little power hammer, you could put it on a little cart and have some feet that go down. You wouldn't want it to be on the actual casters. Probably you'd want some feet you could lower down on it. But they made he was kind of designing that for people to take to different events and stuff, or for people that don't have space that can dedicate floor space for like a big one.
Yeah. So my wife, I don't know if I told you guys saw photos that I went out and did a show that it wasn't a knife show. It was a July 4th show, and I was the only knife maker out there. But several people walked by and said that my booth was their favorite at the show. That made me feel very nice. And it was probably because it was unique. It was knives. I wasn't selling Chinese made crap or sitting there painting faces or whatever, which all that stuff's important, but I was nice compliments. But my table was set up quite nice, but my wife was sitting with me the entire time, and it was very nice. I enjoyed the time with her, but she would tell people it's his hobby. He does this out of the garage. And I'm like, Nancy, when they'd walk away, I'm like, I sold an $1,800 knife a few weeks ago. I said, what you're telling me is you're giving me permission to build a 20 by 40 in the backyard right now because I'm just a guy working out of his garage. And she goes, no, it's fine. I understand. You don't need a garage because she's frugal. You ain't building a nice workshop. So then I'm doing a story on Alfredo Facipieri. Yeah. And he makes these gorgeous knives. So I showed Nancy a picture of the inside of his shop. It was about the same size as my shop. And I said, this guy, look at these knives you make. I said, look how expensive they are. I go, he works out of his garage. So you're saying that I'm less than him? I said, I'll give you that he makes nicer knives than me. But do you think my shop is any less than this guy that makes knives full time? No. I said, well, quit telling people that I work out of the garage.
Right. Fair.
I mean, I don't mind telling people I work out of my garage shop, but it's like, even I was listening to Montana Knife Company. The guy that owns it was talking about how he grew out of his 2-car garage into what he's doing today. I mean, Amazon started in a garage, and it's not that I'm not going to make any more money outside of my garage, even in another building. So if I want a power hammer, though, I have to either add on, and I've got room to, I could add on to my garage, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever return that investment, and how much do I really want to do it? Because I've got a press. I just got to make sure I don't squash the doo-doo out of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Practice is the key to that, Chip.
It is. And I'm actually not bad at it. I've got Clark made me some, what do you call it?
Stop blocks.
No. The
dies?
The dies that,
combo die?
No. That noise I just made. The ones where you make the little dip in your knife all the way.
Drawing dies?
No. Well, you got drawing dies, but then they flip them around. And so I can spread the steel out instead of lengthwise, widthwise.
Okay.
Whatever you call that die.
Fullering dies?
Fullering die. Thank you. I just couldn't get it out of my head.
All right.
Damn it, guys. I'm old. You got to be ready to fill in the blanks for me.
I got it.
Fullering dies. And so I'm actually looking forward to using those with the press, because one of the biggest things that I know very easily how to set and draw out the hill on a tire hammer or that type of press, just turning the steel around as it's going. With a hydraulic press, you got to do it a different way. So those fullering dies help move that around. So I haven't used them yet, and I'm looking forward to this weekend making a free range, Shegman free range, made by Bart. Bart's mustache, by the way.
Bart the mustache guy, yeah.
Yeah, the old knife makers club is Sheg or Bart never faller. Means the whatever the mountain is over there, it'll never fail. If the mountain falls, then Norway dies. So that was one of their things. Makes no sense, I know, but that's what it is. Sheg or Bart never falls, or something like that.
Huh.
So
all right.
I hope the son of a guns don't make it. I think is Norway still in the cup?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they play Britain on Saturday.
Everybody's telling me England.
England.
You think it'll
Britain.
be England?
I thought it was already a done deal.
What's a done deal?
Norway and England.
No, I said, do you think it'll be England?
Oh, I think Norway is going to probably win. That Norwegian guy is a beast.
Yeah, I hope Norway wins, just because I've got friends in Norway and I know it means a lot to them. So,
I messaged Veronique Laurent when Belgium beat the United States.
That's a knife maker?
She's a Belgian mastersmith.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I interviewed her one time for an article, which is why I can sort of halfway say her name in bad French. Veronique Laurent. Because I asked her, how do you say it? I said, everybody over here reads it like Veronica Laurent. I know that's not right.
So the quarterfinals Saturday are Norway and England, and the quarterfinals are Spain and Belgium. And those Belgians, those feather bowlers, beat the Americans, who look like crap.
They did not play well.
So are you thinking it's going to be Belgium and England, or Belgium and Norway? I don't think it'll be Spain.
Because people are saying Spain is going to win the whole thing.
But we're boycotting Spain. Didn't you listen to the politics here recently? We're now mad at Spain over NATO, and we're not supposed to trade or say anything nice about them.
I thought they wrote a check.
Huh?
I thought they wrote a check.
So he's saying nice stuff about him again.
I thought so.
All I knew is that the rain falls mainly on the plane.
I just know. I just know politics change from minute to minute. I don't know. Hey, I'm a conservative constitutionalist. That's all I have to say.
If somebody writes me a check, I'll talk nice about them.
That's right. That's right.
Right? I mean, hey,
I'm with you there, bud.
Yeah.
All right. So, let me talk about our sponsors. Let's see if you guys know their email, their web addresses. Pop's Knife Supplies. Go ahead.
popsknifesupply.com.
Okay, you've got 1 point. So far, you're leading with one. Y'all keep score. New Jersey Steel Bearing.
NewJerseySteelBearing.com.
Kyle got 2.
Oh man,
Kyle
is it New
got
Jersey
2.
or is it NJ Steel Baron?
No, it's New Jersey.
I think they have both of them, don't they? I
Well,
think it's spelled out, but
it's okay. You get a half a point on the technicality. You've got a half, and Daly's got 2. TR Maker out of Istanbul, Turkey. Get your stuff here in a couple days from TR Maker. DHL in the air. It's cleared once it hits the ground. TR Maker.
TR-maker.com.
Yeah, it's got a dash in there.
VMAX, you've got 1.5, and Kyle's got 2. Fry is still succession. Whatever you call it. I'm not going to get Ryan's company.
Brodbeck Ironworks.
Ironworks.com.
All right. Fry's got 1. VMAX 1.5. Kyle's got 2. Shegman Knives.
Knife-maker.com.
Okay. Kyle's got 3. Kyle's leading with 3. Phoenix Abrasives and their code for getting 10% off.
PhoenixAbrasives.com. Templars 10 or KP10.
There you go. There you go. Our sister podcast, or we're brothers, twin brothers podcast. All right. I wonder if somebody will get this one. Jason Fry, Custom Knives.
FryCustomKnives.com.
You got 4.
Bingo.
Fry wouldn't even open his mouth on that one.
I was going to see if y'all knew it. Like, I know it. It's mine.
How about the home of the everything buddy?
KHDailyKnives.com.
Okay, Fry's now got 2. Kyle, I think you got 4. VMAX, you're 1.5. EvenHeat.
EvenHeat-Kiln.com.
All right. You
got
nice.
That. I wouldn't have got that one.
There. He's got them all listed in front of him for his sponsors. No.
Probably so.
EvenHeat's not one of our sponsors.
How about How about if you want to get a good press or learn more about Clark Stock 26?
ClarkIronforge.com.
There you go. What if you don't want to make knives alone?
KnifeMakersGuild.com.
Interesting that has now become a slogan, because all I have to say is don't make knives alone. KnifeMakersGuild.com. Guys, go out and see our sponsors. I think Kyle wins with 7 or 8. The rest of you failed miserably. Kyle, you'll be able to submit 2 expense reports this year.
Excellent.
And we're very proud to offer that. We don't reimburse you, but you will submit them, and we will keep them on file, showing that you did try to do it and we still failed it, or ignored it, I guess is a better word. But hey, guys, go out and listen to us on Spotify, Castbox, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and all those other podcasts. You can find us on YouTube Music. Go out there and listen to us. Please subscribe, because we see that, and leave us some feedback. Y'all, KP and Knife Talk have a lot of people giving feedback. We've got 5 or 6, and that's not uncommon, but I at least want to catch up to Kyle. And also go out and subscribe to me, Shegman Knives, on YouTube, because I'm trying, and TikTok, because I'm trying to catch up with Eric Rivers, which is every time I take 1 step forward, he takes 2 steps, or 2 or 3 or 4. It drives me crazy.
10 steps.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to get in touch with us at knivestemplars@yahoo.com. But most of all, we want to thank you all for listening to our wonderful little podcast, mostly putting up with me, because these guys are the interesting ones. I'm just I'm the guy that has the controls. So I guess you guys could technically fire me, because Kyle knows how to do this. It's like, Chip, we don't need you, and we just go out and gosh, I better start being more interesting. And
I don't want to do it 2 times.
I understand.
Right.
And the one thing, and if you really want to know what I am going to do next time I sell a knife, I'm going to go out and I'm going to purchase a new joke book, because you can't have your cake and heat it too. Kayak and heat it too. It just don't have the same ring as it did in 1996.
Still a good joke,
night.
though.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Oinky, oinky,
Brought
oinky.
to you by
Oinky.
Forecast Productions.
There you go. See, I was leaving that off for you guys.
Thanks.
I was waiting for her to say it.
I know. I was just like, I did that whole brand. You know, why make knives alone? I figured if I already had you guys trained to like Pavlov's dogs, that you hear that, you just go oinky, oinky, oinky. So
yeah, one of my son's favorite animals, the pig.
The pig? Yeah, I like pigs too. I like them in a stew, in a smoker.
Ground in some casings. Yeah.
I like pigs all kinds of ways, but they are kind of cool creatures. If they're not chasing you, trying to eat you or kill you, they're pretty dang evil creatures too. The wild ones are anyway. I know the ones in the farms, you don't want to fall into a pig trough. They'll or a pig pen. They'll get a big boar pig in there and he'll chomp you up. Yep.
Apparently they can find truffles really well also.
Yep, they can. I was in Plumtree, North Carolina, at the Jones house, which is my mom's side of the family, when I was about 4 years old. I can still remember her grandpa John's hanging me over the pig pen while he was slopping them in the morning, and he was hanging me over the pig pen up in the air, going, "I'm going to feed you to the pigs," and it scared the total crap out of me, just shaking me over there, and that was normal stuff. That's what you do to kids. That builds character. So I'm not, you know.
Not entirely warped just from that.
I'm not warped by it. No, there was a lot of things in life that warped me, but I still remember that. And they always said, "Stay away from pigs; they'll eat you." So it was kind of like the Steve Irwin over the Crocodile Kid. I was the Chip Carlisle over the pig pen. Guys, it's good to have you all back here. I thoroughly enjoy your friendship and getting with you guys. So when we come on here like this, as much as I don't want to get on here and talk to you because it's all been a long day, it's quite a commitment that we all make because it is a long day. As soon as we get to talking and I get to being a sarcastic smart aleck, it just all comes back and I enjoy every minute of it. So it'd be a long year between blade shows if we didn't have this.
It would. Definitely would.
It would at that. It would at that. So, Kyle, are you done for the night?
Yeah, my dad came up. We're doing the boys' birthday party. So we've got the boys' birthday party on Saturday. We're going to do a kids' party where they're going to be at the rock climbing gym. They're excited to show my dad in person how fast they can skedaddle up the wall.
Them. That's wonderful.
And a bunch of their friends too. And then we're coming back here for a more family party, and I'll be manning the grill, doing some burgers, brats, and hot dogs, and swimming in the pool and stuff. So
that sounds American made right there, baby.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
It does. Mark, I was going to be down at your place on Monday or Wednesday, but I may have to send Lucas to go instead. So I don't know if I'm going to be down there Monday or not, and I don't know what you're doing. This is developed this afternoon, but project's kicking off down there, so I will be down to see you. I'm going to bring my knife and see if it's really true that they rust right away. I'm going to test that hypothesis.
You know, the other thing that another good reason for the stainless is that I don't know how many people picked up Kyle's knives and put their fingerprints all over them. And the next morning I was still, I thought I wiped them down at the end of the day, but I'd still find a fingerprint. But if that was a nice high carbon knife, you'd have that nice rusty fingerprint on there. And
let me tell you, I'm cutting you off because when I did that thing for 4th of July and set up my thing, this is the first time I've ever had, 12 of my knives sitting out there. And everybody wants to grab the steel. They want to run their finger down the blade. I don't know how many times I said that will cut you. They like the idea I had Band-Aids out on the table, and I didn't tell them that everybody does that at Blade Show. But the thing is that
you tell them you bleed on it, you buy it? Also?
I did say that. I told kids you can't touch them if you're not 18 several times. It was just amazing how many people wanted to drool and slobber over the knives. That made what I did to Kyle Royer look like child's play. And I did. I took a whole thing of gun oil out there, and every time they were done, I wiped them down and I put gun oil on them, and I left them out on my dining room table overnight, and they all looked good the next day. But I mean, I was just oiling the crap out of those things because people were just like, they were doing everything but licking them and doing Harry Carry on themselves. Isn't that what you call it when you do the Japanese thing? It was just blowing my mind. What's wrong with people?
People.
I forgot to bring a sign that said "Ask before you touch," because some people would say, "May I touch?" I would say, "Yes, please don't hold it by the steel. Hold it by the handle. That'll be just fine." And then some people, I would say, "That one's $2,800," even though it wasn't. I would say, "That one's $2,800," then they wouldn't even touch it.
There you go.
Yeah. You just speak outside of their price range and they don't want to touch it. So, but I had this one old codger. He literally picked up every knife I had, every one on the table. And I brought Jarl Eric's knife that he made me with the hand carved American bald eagle, because I thought that was a centerpiece. Great July 4th. Even that one, he opened every one up. He sat and ran his finger down the edge on every one, tried to skin some of his fingernail off, tried to shave his hand hair with one, ran his hands up and down the blade, and then wanted to talk to me about all the knives that he had got at Bass Pro Shops and the sporting goods stores. And it just driving me crazy.
It's wonderful. Huh?
Well, you guys experienced. That was my first time. And it is traumatic, is it not?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of the tables, the guy was like running his thumb like this straight up the blade. And that was a couple years ago. And my dad goes, "Is this blade sharp?" And I go, "It's extremely sharp." And he was like, "Huh." And he's like running his thumb up there. And my dad goes, "If you bleed on that, you buy it." And the guy was, "I'll put it back down, I guess."
Exactly. Sometimes you just got to tell them like it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people think. Like when they, they're like checking to see if a knife is sharp. Like, okay, well, is that the key of your? I don't know. It always, is odd that like even all your kitchen knives. I don't know how many people like would pick one up and they're like feeling the edge. I'm like, well, so what is that? What is that telling you about that knife? Like, is that telling you something? Like, what's?
Maybe they think they're supposed to do it or something. But I mean, who picks up the knives in your kitchen and sees how sharp it is by running your finger down it? I mean, it's like you take a tomato.
On my kitchen knives, I usually do them to that 3000 grit and then do a strop to remove the burr. Sometimes that works really well on pretty much everything other than tomatoes. If somebody says they're going to be cutting a lot of tomatoes, I usually stop on the 1000 to give it a little bit more tooth, so it kind of cuts through the skin a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
But that was the lady that bought the realtor that did our house. That was where I learned about you can be too sharp and it won't cut a tomato very well either.
I went out and bought some of those black plastic knife tips to start putting on my knives too. So next time I throw them down in a parking lot or ship them, they'll have those little protectors on that. I got like 100 of them for 12 cents on Amazon or something. So
some of those cardboard covers are really good also to help inside the zipper cases and stuff like that.
Is it non-acidic paper?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you can get those at USA Knife Maker by the 100 pack.
Oh, wow.
They're pretty cheap.
I have to check that out. So,
all right.
Well, I prefer to get the 18-inch long ones, but they sell some 12-inch long ones. But the 18-inch ones, you can just cut them to whatever length you need them to be, and you can usually get 2 or 3 of them out each one.
That's what I told the doctor when I got my colonoscopy. But hey, that's the last episode we talked about.
Yeah.
All right.
When we get off, when we hang up here, I'll tell you all something really funny that I'm not going to tell on the air because I don't want. It's even too low for me to talk about off the air, and you guys, I want to hear this. So, with that being said, we're gone. Good night. Oinky oink oinky.
Good night, everybody.
And anoint.